guys, Kelly here with Mindful Bodyworks. So today we're going to be doing a yin yoga practice. Yin yoga is a wonderful stretching yoga. It's a little different than a regular yoga. There's no real flow to it. You're holding movements or poses for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on whether you're a beginner or you're a seasoned yin yoga practitioner. This specific yin yoga class is going to be for better posture, which we all need with technology these days. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start by taking a seat, and we're going to start with a quick meditation. So you can sit however it's comfortable for you. I like sitting on a block because it just lifts me a little bit, but you can sit on a pillow or a blanket as well. This just helps you get your crown of your head over your low back or your sacrum, and you're nice and tall. We'll start by breathing here. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. And keep working with that count and your own breath, inhaling nice and slow, as well as exhaling nice and controlled. On your exhales, you're going to bring your navel towards your spine, surfing that breath. A nice, slow, steady flow of inhalations and exhalations. And we'll take one more nice inhalation deep into the low belly. And exhaling again, squeezing the belly button towards the spine completely. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and blink the eyes open and get started with our practice. Our first pose today is just going to be a neck release. This is super simple. We're going to take our right arm out long away from our body, and we're going to be taking the left ear towards the left shoulder. Now with yin yoga, you want to find your edge. You don't want to go over and stretch too far, because if you do that, by the time 3 to 5 minutes and the pose is up, you're going to be overstretching the fascia and the connective tissue. So you want a nice steady stretch. It always helps me if I close my eyes and again focus on the breath, whether you're counting breaths or slowing the breath and really getting control of your breathing. Again, making any micro adjustments now that we've been here for a few moments. Anything's feeling uncomfortable, know that you can move, but you want to find that stillness. So don't fidget the whole pose. Just find your position that it's comfortable and then find that stillness again. So again, reaching through the fingertips. Every exhale, you can feel like you're elongating through the side of the neck and the shoulder and the arm. I'm starting to deepen the breath now. Inhaling a little deeper than before. Again, exhaling, really stretching through the side of the neck and the shoulder, reaching through the fingertips. And we'll take 2 more nice deep breaths like this. And after your long, steady second breath, you can go ahead and open your gaze and slowly start to come back up to center. And then we'll come to the other side. So taking the left arm nice and long, I'm going to sit up straight just as we did on the other side before. And then we're going to take our right ear towards our right shoulder and relax over. Again, finding our breath, whether you want to count your breaths, or maybe you just want to relax in the stillness. I want to find that balance between effort and surrender. So our effort is really reaching through the fingertips of that hand, but our surrender, we also want gravity to help pull the head over and relax the neck and shoulder. And again, so we've been here for a few moments. So if you need to make any micro adjustments to make this more comfortable for you, please do. And then find that stillness again, find your breath. Again, every exhale is just lengthening and stretching that connective tissue. Starting to lengthen that breath again, taking in a deeper inhalation, bringing that breath into the belly. And exhaling, stretching a little bit more if it's possible. Of course, we're stretching without injury, so make sure you listen to your body. And take one more breath here. And very slowly, we'll go ahead and blink the eyes open. And come back to center, very slow and controlled. And we'll take one inhalation here. And exhale. Good. Our next pose is going to be a supported fish. There's a couple different ways to do this. I'm going to show you a beginner pose first. If you have any neck issues, you want to make sure that you stick with the beginner pose. But I'll also show you if you are more open in the chest area and you want to try to stretch a little bit more, I'll show you another one as well. So you want to take your block or a hardback book and you want to lay it on your mat. And you're going to have that about where the bottom of the shoulder blades are. So you might have to adjust it a little bit once you get closer to the mat. And so we're opening the chest here. So this is the beginner supported fish. Now you can take your feet wide on the mat and rest your knees to center. Rest your arms out beside you, or you can even bring them into cactus arms. It's up to you. And so you would be breathing here. Intermediate, you can take the legs out long. It's really just extra stretch here. Or if you'd like to try and challenge yourself a little bit more, you can make a T with 2 blocks so that you have support for the head, and the block would be right along the spine in the same position as before, right at the base of the shoulder blades. So pick which one of those work best for you. And just find your edge and breathe. Every inhalation, imagine your chest opening and expanding. And every exhale, letting your body feel nice and heavy and weighted with gravity. Again, if you need to make any micro adjustments to make this more comfortable for you, we are going to be here about 5 minutes, so comfort is definitely important. So finding your breath, a nice steady flow, and letting gravity assist you in bringing those shoulder blades back, opening the shoulders and the chest. Now all you have to do is just breathe and relax and let gravity do the work. Now that we've been here a few moments, if you're feeling uncomfortable or maybe you're feeling like the higher block needs to be lowered, you can always readjust that and then come back to your stillness. So you want to make yoga work for your body. That's the most important part. Really focusing on your breath here, inhaling deeply into the belly. And on your exhale, I want you to feel your body's really heavy. Gravity's just pulling you towards your mat. And anything that you're holding, any tension that you don't necessarily need to be holding, just relax that. Just let it go. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw, relaxing your neck, and breathing. We only have a few more moments here. So really finding your breath. Try and go a little bit deeper. So starting to lengthen the breath here, we'll take 2 nice deep inhalations through the nose. Expanding the chest on our inhales, squeezing the navel towards the spine on our exhales. One more breath. And then very slowly turning your hands, palms facing down next to your hips, so that when you come up, you'll be able to lift up off of the elbows. So slowly coming up. Just relaxing here for a moment, taking a breath. And now coming to our next pose, we're going to be lying on our belly. So we're going to be using some blocks for this as well. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this. You can use with or without blocks, but I'll show you both. So we're going to come to lie down on the belly, and this is going to be a shoulder opener. So what we want to do for either side is you want to make sure that your shoulder and your elbow are lined up, and your elbow and your wrist are lined up. That's very important. So we have cactus arms. Now we're only going to do one side at a time, but I'm just going to demo it so that you can see. So you can use a block or a pillow for your head if you want to. So starting with this far arm here, lining up, making sure my fingers are nice and wide. And I'm just going to lie my head down. Now you can lie on a block or a pillow if you want to, completely up to you. And with this, you're just going to lean both hips over towards the bent arm. Okay? So if you just are face down, you're just going to roll up on one hip and check your foundation there with your arm. Make sure your shoulder and your elbow are in a line, and your elbow and your wrist. Now, if you have a pillow or block, you can put it under your head, as I said before. You can also actively press through the hand to help you stretch into that shoulder. You can use another block as well and just place your hand or your forearm on that block, whatever's comfortable for you. But you're really opening up that bent shoulder, okay? So go ahead and find which feels best for you. You can play with it just for a few moments, and then we'll go ahead and find our stillness. Fingers are nice and wide, twisting into that arm. Again, shoulder and elbow are in one line, and elbow and wrist are in the other line. So it's like an L shape. So I want you to notice how this side feels, because when we come to the other side, you might notice a difference depending on which is your dominant arm. So really breathing into this, finding your center. Relaxing both shoulders. Make sure if you're pushing through that other arm that your shoulder's down away from the ear. So we're trying to stretch and open everything up. We don't want to create any extra tension. So breathing into the front of the chest and the shoulder. And again, every exhale helps us twist a little bit more. Challenging ourselves without injury, so finding that happy place where we feel challenged, yet we're not in any pain or discomfort. And find your breath, inhaling and exhaling completely. Making any micro adjustments that you might need. going to take 5 more long, steady breaths here. I want you to count those at your own pace in your own head. Inhaling and exhaling is 1. Really fill up the ribs, the chest, and the low belly with air. And on your exhale, squeeze your belly button towards your spine, tightening the core. And after your long 5th breath, you're going to go ahead and roll back to the belly and come out of the pose very, very slowly. And then we'll be coming to the other side. So go ahead and line up your foundation. You will have to recheck that after we turn the hips. So getting your blocks in place, lining the shoulder, elbow, and the elbow and wrist up, and then turning both hips. And then relaxing into this. Notice if this side is a little tighter or maybe you don't feel it as much. Again, checking your foundation. We want a nice L shape with the arm. And really breathing into this, focusing on the breath. Breathing into the front of the chest and the shoulder. Relaxing anything that doesn't need to be tense. Again, checking the neck and the jaw. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth. And finding that breath. Making any micro adjustments so that you're more comfortable. Let's take 3 more long, deep breaths here. Inhaling, opening and expanding. And exhaling, twisting a little bit more. Again, listening to our body. After your 3rd steady breath, I'm going to go ahead and roll back to the belly, straightening the hips, and releasing the arms. And just pushing ourselves back. We're actually going to be coming onto our hips, so twisting around. Now the next pose that we'll be doing is going to be a supported bridge. Again, I'm going to show you two modifications. The first one, you're just going to go ahead and come down to your back, have your block next to you. Now this time we'll be using the block long so that it's even with our hips. I shouldn't say long, I should say width-wise. And so what you want to do is lift up through your heels, place your block under the sacrum. So it's very important that you do not place the block under your low back. We want to tilt the pelvis and open up the front of the hips to help us with our posture. So relaxing the shoulders down the back. Again, you can have your feet wide and rest your knees together. If that's uncomfortable, just kind of figure out what works best for your body. Taking the arms either down by the sides again, palms facing up, or if you want to continue to open the chest, you can come up into cactus arms. So that's just where we make an L shape with each arm and open the chest. Now this is the beginner modification, and this one works absolute miracles. If you don't have any low back issues and you would like to go to the medium height, you can lift through the heels and take your block up one more. Again, it still needs to be under the sacrum. That's very important. So do whichever one of those works. Now, if this is feeling okay and you're not feeling any discomfort, know that you can keep the knees bent, or if you'd like, you can also extend the legs long. And this just helps to open up the hip flexors, as well as all that connective tissue around psoas and all that good stuff. So figure out what works and go ahead and find your still point. Relax your neck, your shoulders, your jaw. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Go ahead and find that breath. Surfing the breath, inhaling deeply into the low belly. And exhaling, completely squeezing the belly button in towards the spine. This pose is wonderful for anyone who's seated for long periods of time, whether you're at a desk or in a car. This helps open up the front of the hips, which in turn helps the whole back of the body. I know it's insane to think those two are connected, but our body definitely works together. So by opening the front, it helps to even out the hips. It helps take tension off of the low and mid back. So it's great for posture. Now that we've been here a few moments, if you're starting to feel this in your low back at all, you can always tilt the pelvis up towards the ceiling, squeezing the hips or the butt, and then relaxing the hips back down. And that just puts a little extra space in there in that lumbar spine. But know too, if you do have the legs long, you can bend them at any time to take pressure off the low back. So counting down, we're going to take 10 nice long breaths here. And after you've reached your 10th breath, go ahead and take one more nice, deep, deep, deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling completely. If you have your legs straight, you can bend the knees. Bringing the arms down by your sides, you're going to go ahead and lift through the heels to lift the pelvis. And then remove your block. And then from here, we're just going to come into our final resting pose. So we're just going to lie down. Make yourself comfortable. You might need a pillow or a bolster underneath your knees. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Bring your low back down away from your shoulders. You have your palms by your sides facing up, or you can place your palms on your belly, feeling the breath rise and fall with each inhalation and exhalation. And relaxing the neck, the jaw, the eyes. Relaxing the shoulders. Let go of any tension you're holding here. And letting our arms be nice and weighted all the way down from the shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers. And then letting the whole back just sink into the mat, nice and heavy and relaxed. And adjusting the hips so they're comfortable. And letting the legs be nice and long and weighted. Feeling like you're sinking back into the earth. I want you to take a few moments here of stillness. If you have any thoughts that pop in your head, just put it in a little bubble and let it float away just for a few moments, then I'll let you know when it's time to get up. And starting to lengthen the breath here, inhaling deeply into the low belly. And exhaling, bringing the belly button towards the spine. And starting to wiggle the toes, open and close the hands, bringing body and mind back together. And when you're ready, you can bend one knee and then the other and hug those knees into your chest. You can rock from side to side and massage the low back. You're going to let both legs fall over to the right side when you're ready. And push yourself up into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. I want you to imagine a white light from the base of your spine, and on your inhalation I want you to follow that white light all the way up the spine, from the low, mid, and upper back, through the neck, all the way to the top of the head. And on your exhale, I want you to bring that white light straight back down, nice and slow, all the way to the bottom of the spine. And let's do that one more time. Inhaling, bringing energy and light through the bottom of the spine, all the way to the top of the crown of the head. And exhaling, bring that white light back down the spine, all the way down. And just relaxing here, grounding yourself, rooting yourself before coming back. We'll bring our hands in prayer position, heart center. Dip the chin towards the chest. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open. And slowly bring your gaze back up. And this is where we'll end our practice today. So namaste. Thank you so much for trying Yin Yoga. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the other videos on the channel and make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.